ready to go, and it's smoking hot. It's probably 80 degrees and 100% humidity. Feels like summertime. Heading to the Smokies. Hello, I'm David Gray. It's mid-May 2025, and I am on the road for the third trip of the 2025 season. Heading down to always weird and entertaining Gatlinburg, where I'm going to hook up with Carl and Travis, and we are going to be doing a 3-day, 2-night hike in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We were actually planning on doing this hike 2 weeks ago, and we were going to be doing it on the southern side of the park near Fontana Dam, staying the night before the hike at a place called Tapico Lodge, which looks like an absolutely outstanding place to stay. But unfortunately, we had to cancel that trip due to some unforeseen circumstances. So we frantically scrambled to reschedule it, and we got this one done, but there was no availability at Tapico Lodge or any of the campsites that we were hoping to stay at. They're pretty popular down there on the south side. So instead, we're going to be doing a hike out of Elkmont. We've done a number of hikes in this particular area before, but it's always a gorgeous place to hike. We're going to be starting out of the Little River trailhead. We're going to be doing 7 miles over to campsite number 23, where we stayed a couple years ago. That's where I had the infamous down pant sleeping bag feather explosion, if you remember that one, and also where we did the liver mush. So we're going to be staying at that campsite the first night. And we're going to backtrack the second night and stay in campsite number 21, where Carl and Christian and I stayed 2 years ago. And then that's only about 1.5 miles from the trailhead. So the last day we're going to have a really short hike out to the car and probably get an early start heading back home after the hike. Weather-wise, things look a little bit iffy. That's a politically correct, nice way of saying potentially really gnarly. It's 82 degrees right now and very high humidity. Feels like midsummer type stuff. And this time of year in the spring, that's usually a foreshadowing of some pretty severe weather potentially, and that's exactly what we're supposed to get tomorrow night. They're predicting about a 50 to 75% chance of thunderstorms. Some of them may be pretty severe, but what we're hoping is that they don't come in until we're in camp and have the tarp set up and a fire going and everything, so we'll see. Saturday right now is predicted to be about a 90% chance of an all-day rain sort of thing. Hopefully it'll just be a light rain. Maybe it won't be all day, but it should make for some really beautiful video and pictures in the Goshen Prong area that we'll be hiking in, with all the flowers coming out and the rivers and the streams that are going on. So with that, let's get this 6+ hour drive down to Gatlinburg going, meet up with the guys, spend a night on the town in Gatlinburg. I was making really good time until right now. I get a little congestion here, and my arrival time just went up like 25 minutes. I think we got a little bit of construction. Well, the bad news is I am clearly no longer on I-75 south, traveling at about 80 miles an hour. The good news is I'm actually moving. We're moving along about 40 miles an hour, so a lot better than what we were doing on I-75, the parking lot version. I guess I spoke too soon on actually moving. So we've transferred our I-75 parking lot to whatever road this is. The good news is I think I'm less than a mile from the highway, but at this pace it's going to take a little while. So much for Jack Huff's porch time. I guess we're going to be cutting into it here. We're still in the parking lot. Oh my gosh, this is awful. At this rate, I should just park the car on the side of the road, pull my pack out, and I'd get down to the Smokies faster than driving in this vehicle. This is crazy, but it's going to make a little solitude in the woods definitely appreciated. Finally on the parkway, closing in on Gatlinburg, and boy, is everything green. It's that early spring, vibrant green, man. Boy, is it beautiful. We made it to Gatlinburg. It hasn't changed. Arrival at Jack Huff's. I don't know if I see the guys anywhere. said this is our warm-up for the hike tomorrow to get up to Jason Aldean's restaurant.
All right, brisket.
Ooh, risky. Jason Aldean's redneck egg rolls for an appetizer. Couldn't pass that up. Brisket looks good, pulled pork, even the southern meatloaf doesn't sound too bad.
Got washed out, and it hadn't been replaced.
Wow. I think we missed the last showing. Bummer. A little later than normal, I think.
All the boys and girls scream, give it to me. Alright, this tastes just like a Nutter Butter, okay, but better.
Storm's coming in here. Should be entertaining. Maybe some fun hiking tomorrow.
It was crossing the stream going into 24. We were trying to figure out which campsite that was.
It was right at the beginning of 24.
So that was day 2?
Yeah, it was when you and I and Christian were there the second night. Yeah, it would have been on the way to 23 because it was when we were crossing into 24. All those sketchy stream crossings we had to do where it had, and then the one where they had the little tiny rope going across. And remember the one year about this time we decided to take the run down to the slice?
Pizza run. Oh yeah.
Somebody just said pizza. We saw a pizza commercial.
I just remember how satisfying it was.
Let me just grab some coffee real quick.
Yeah, they'll hit your thing there when they come in.
Yep, I got it.
They're, I don't want to get
Probably isn't Dunkin' Donuts coffee or probably just Maxwell House, but I'm pretty thankful to have it. The doors were all locked, so she had to open it all up for me, but they're awful nice about that. Oh, just made it too. Nothing better except if we were in the camp around campfire in the morning or something, it was raining and need to warm up. Good morning, welcome to the second day of the trip, first day of backpacking. Weather's looking a little bit iffy. We had a wonderful night in Gatlinburg last night. We're just getting started. The weather is absolutely steamy. Humidity is extremely high, jungle type humidity, and about 80 degrees, or it's supposed to be about 80 degrees today. I think that's going to bring some storms in as this cold front passes this afternoon. So we'll see. Just getting started on day number 2. We're going to go find some breakfast either at Crockett's Breakfast Cafe or perhaps the Wagon Wheel, depending on where we can find parking. Doing the last minute gear prep, making sure I haven't forgotten anything. When I get out in the backcountry, it would not be a good time to remember it. Here's a better time to think about it. We are rolling through Gatlinburg early in the morning, and one thing I noticed was the right lane is used for parking at this time of the morning. But we're heading over to the Wagon Wheel for breakfast. We were going to go to Crockett's, and we realized we have 3 vehicles, which parking over there is an absolute mess, so I figured the Wagon Wheel would be the better alternative with 3 vehicles. I realized I filmed this restaurant probably in 3 different videos and called it the Wagon Wheel every time you think of it. Now I'd know it's the Log Cabin Pancake House. Sweet! That took them all of about 30 seconds to bring it out. I remember we had that experience at the Crockett's one time too. So. No, it is a beautiful day for a hike in the Smokies. You can tell that color on the trees is like the vibrant yellow, green, new growth leaves for the spring. It's just absolutely overwhelmingly green. It's going to be gorgeous hiking today. We've arrived at Elkmont entrance. See what the trailhead looks like. parking spots. It's always the hope. We have arrived at the Little River trailhead and found spots right away, right at the entrance. Traditional weighing of the bag. This is mine first, so I'm guessing right on 30.
Say 31.
All in too. I got all my liquids and camera stuff and
30.4.
yeah, we're right in the middle between you and me. That's
Pretty good.
now Carl's carrying the Starlink gizmo, which is about what, 4 pounds?
Yeah, the whole setup's about 4, a little over 4.
We're not traveling light. We're carrying our own satellite equipment.
31.1.
Oh, you're taking
Yeah.
one for the team. We've rethought our strategy here.
Some weight.
We had some gear panic. We shed the chair.
Well, the 31.1 threw me
Yeah.
over. So, all right, 29.7.
There
So
you
that,
go.
that includes chips and buns.
Carl's still taking one for the team with the hot dogs. Travis thought his was heavy, but Carl has picked them all up, and he said Travis is light.
26.4.
Travis is carrying the chair
carry
and the
my
hot dogs.
chips and buns.
We need to shift some stuff
Can
around.
you carry the Starlink for me? Okay. So it's still on
Technology check here for the maps. Seeing what maps we have, like we're gonna get lost on these trails.
We might.
You never know. Maybe they moved all the trails on us from the last 3 times we were here. We are hiking into Smokies, round 4 or 5 or 6, I'm not sure which, but heading up the Little River Trail. That's a big milestone. First year we came this way, that's the Cucumber Gap Trail that then intersected with the Little River Trail, and we'll have a bridge up here and then turn right out to 23. Familiar bridge here. Turn off for campsite 21 just up there. I think that's actually the trail right here for out to 21 out that way. Turn off to campsite 21 and we're at about 2.8 miles. Heading up that way. A little bit of a map check in a pretty little spot. Intersection with the Goshen Prong Trail. We're gonna head that way out to 23. Starting to feel like we might never get here, but this is the fringe suburb of campsite 23. Not sure where the guys are. Clearly not here. It's a pretty spread out camp. I'll go find them. You guys got the spot back there?
Yeah, it's the B spot.
Oh, it's a B spot?
It's the biggest spot, though.
It's the best spot.
Flattest spot.
I don't know that we sit there. We may sit over here, but we camp over here.
Okay. Boy, it seems more overgrown than it was before.
That
Seemed more open to me before.
Did we camp here last time?
Yeah, this spot here. This was the feather explosion spot and the liver mush. Where's the bees?
I think they were near Travis's pack over there.
Oh man, that's right where we're supposed to be sitting. Well, we got camp set up, kind of spread out here a little at 23. 23's got a little bit of a bee problem we're finding out this time, which is really sad because the spot we normally stay at down there, which is a huge, beautiful spot, that's where the bees were, although they're up here now too. That could be interesting, but hopefully we'll get a fire going and keep them away. We're setting up with the Starlink. We're not into this low-tech backpacking.
For no connection.
We bring our own satellite gear.
Bring it back to life.
You can do it. This is probably our best alternative.
Be your cheerleaders over your David. Spectators.
It works, man. That is like the greatest thing ever. That might not be the last time we use it. Nothing like trying to make a fire in a rainforest.
Yeah.
Probably their intention to make it a sitting log and it's just like
That'll work. Wide shot of the back area of campsite 23, which is where we have historically stayed. I've stayed in that spot 3 times. That was where all the bees were. I think they had some sort of a nest in one of those, either the logs that were like serving as a sitting log. Probably the primo spot because it's farthest away from the entrance to the camp on the trail, so it's totally secluded. But the bees were enough of a hassle, we decided to go with plan B and move elsewhere. A more up close and personal shot of this back area of campsite 23. This is one of probably 4 or maybe 5 little camping areas within campsite 23 that you can stay at. This is probably the best one. We're doing the 4:30 dinner.
We're hungry.
It looks really good. Oh man.
How is it?
Nothing better.
Wow, Ruffles rain.
Man,
extra for the ridges.
those are only for Carl.
This is my first time to ever have Ruffles burning.
You bring a dip?
Yeah. What? Dip? No.
Where are the cheese and crackers?
Not much of a fire in our fire.
Better than nothing.
We could probably get some fire out of there if we got the moose straw. Do one more elk call opportunity here.
Go for it.
Let's see what we can do there. Well,
There you go.
Was a success.
So far.
At least for a few minutes.
That's past the 5-minute rule, though. Good job.
Still confined to the tents. I probably hear why. It's raining really hard, so we would definitely be up, all of us, going past this probably. It's closing in on 7 o'clock. Still confined to the tents, all of us, I assume. I'm certainly not planning on getting out in this. A little bit before 7, we'd normally all be up. Long before this, probably. Spraying through my Dyneema Cuban fiber tent, which I have never experienced that before in a Cuban fiber tent. This rain was unlike any rain that this tent has been exposed to. It's very hard and big, thick drops that when they hit, you can feel the spray. You feel the spray kind of come through. Stuck in the tents on day number 3 of the trip so far.
Soaking wet. My socks were soaking wet. I could hear the water flowing this morning, that's for sure. I couldn't distinguish between the rain and the creek flowing, the sound of
That'll
that.
give you a good indication of how much rain we had, because this cup was empty. It's about 2 inches full right now. Fortunately, the rain's pretty much let up, but everything is soaked. Good morning. I don't know if that's fogged up or not, but welcome to a day number 3 of the trip, a very wet day number 3 of the trip. All of our stuff is wet to various extents. Carl's more than most because he had kind of a tent malfunction. Bottom of his tent caved in, and that actually allowed all the water to pour in right where he had his clothes stashed. It has stopped raining, fortunately. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could still be raining that hard, and we'd be packing up in the rain and hiking in the rain. It's about 20 to 8, which is super late for us to get up and get going. Everything is soaked in the camp, so we don't have really any place to sit down or do anything, so we'll go back to the fire area and have some breakfast, and then head on out of here over to camp number 21, which is going to be probably a muddy mess, but we'll see. It started on a wet day number 3. All that weight we would have saved from everything we ate and everything is all going to be chewed up with wet tents and wet gear. Little Dunkin' Donut coffee with a little foliage in it. Hasn't been needed as much as it's been needed right now very often, but very wet morning in the Smokies, but a little Dunkin' Donuts coffee will make everything at least a little bit better. Nice and strong too, just what's needed to get this day going, but we started on day number 3. First breakfast this morning. Pop-Tarts. We had some Pop-Tarts at home, which is pretty unusual circumstance, so I threw one in my food bag, but 2 Pop-Tarts weighs about half a pound, so I'm getting rid of those so I don't have to carry them with all my wet gear too. Second breakfast this morning. It's a Peak Refuel strawberry granola. Really good stuff, but really heavy, so I'm kind of clearing out everything heavy in my pack to offset all the extra weight from my like 1.5 pound Z-Packs triplex tent that now weighs 5 pounds because it's just completely soaked. Ready to hike on day number 3, and we're a little disillusioned that the pack seemed to weigh more than when we started yesterday morning. Show you this. That bright orb in the sky is the sun, and it is shaping out to be a gorgeous day. Sunny and 70 with a very wet start, but here we go, we're hiking. Oh, we haven't even made it out of Camp 23 and we're lost. We took the wrong trail out of our camp, but you can see everything kind of looks the same, but doing a little bushwhacking back to the main camp area where we had the campfire. Well, those generally dry feet crossings from yesterday are not going to be so dry today. See, there's the Goshen Prong over there. It is just roaring today. I'm not going to risk slipping on some slippery rocks here, so we're just doing it the wet foot way here. No keeping the feet dry today. Trails sort of become a creek all through here. Kind of a swamp. Running a whole lot faster than when we crossed it yesterday with dry feet. We got swept away in that. There's a lot of water. This is what I've always affectionately called the car wash plants, like the little squeegees on each side of your car when you get it washed, because these things are absolutely soaked. They're brushing off the dirt, that's for sure. There's the trail. And that's what you end up in if you miss that little step on the trail. A little bit unforgiving. A lot of water running through Goshen Prong today. Made it back to the intersection with the Little River Trail. Significant milestone always. Mile down that way, Camp 21. Day's going pretty fast. We're only less than 2 hours into it. This is definitely an important junction because right there, campsite 21 is where we're staying for the night. And I remember that 3/10 of a mile sounds pretty benign, but there's a decent little hill between here and there, so almost to camp. Well, this is the hill I was talking about. Not what my tired legs want to see, but I know we're almost to camp. Well, we made it to campsite 21. Up that way, and it looks muddy. Carl and Travis are already there, so hopefully they got a site all staked out. Looks like they found our spot, which is where those other people had a spot last time we were here. You gotta go and you had the whole kindling bundle or whatever they call that.
Pile of sticks.
Like the survivor man gets his tinder bundle all set up. Yeah.
Step plate music. You got some punky kids
Carl
over here.
Travis, you know the rules.
Rules are rules. It is what it is, David. This fire's already off to a better start than last night.
The wood's, believe it or not, drier. Early dinner, late lunch, first dinner is Spam single classic. So I gotta find a Spam stick first and then I'll open it up for you and show you how Carl eats it, like just straight out of the, squeeze it out like toothpaste out of the little container. Compliments of Carl, we've got a green, you can actually see the green on there, stick. Get you the up close and personal. Gelatin here on the edge. Ooh, doesn't that look tasty? That. Perfect. Spam on the fire coming up. Alright, I'm gonna serve this up like cheddar cheese crackers with Ritz. Cut it in 9 pieces, 3 each.
Oh, is this a community
It's a community piece of Spam. Oh. You guys are giving me a hard time. Didn't realize you're gonna be on the receiving end.
So this will make up for the cheese spread you didn't bring this time?
Good point. Close up look at the fire roasted Spam. We're gonna serve it on some Ritz crackers here. I'm thinking each one of these squares is gonna fit perfectly on a Ritz cracker, which I happen to have right here. Look at you! Okay, we didn't have our cheddar cheese spread moment because we don't have any cheddar cheese spread. This is gonna have to do Spam on Ritz crackers. Here, let me pass that to Carl. This help.
Thank you, David.
Travis.
Oh, wow. That looks better than the cheese spread. Probably not.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was good. I don't even know if it's tasted yet, but that's sort of new.
Closing in on dinner time, so it is Spam time. For those international viewers who aren't familiar with Spam, it's not really a high-class cuisine here. Kind of a meat product, they call it. So we'll, oh, the sound effects. This is uncooked Spam. It's basically like a combination of ham and smoked sausage and bacon and who knows what else. Let's see if we can get the sound effect here. We got the Jello. Let's see if we can get some Jello on here. Oh, here, look in the can. Oh, there we go. Now we got to figure out how to slice this. Alright, we're going to go for 6 slices and we're going to do it on the Spam trees. Spam on the fire coming up. Try to figure out how to put it on our stick. And Carl did the Lewis and Clark salmon fish jig thing with the, actually made like the barbs on here so it won't come off this way. It's all falling apart on me, Carl. Huh? It's breaking apart. This is what happens when you have an amateur doing the Spam tree. Here you go, Carl. Try not to break them.
Oh boy.
No,
Give you about a D for effort
I know,
there.
man. They all.
Man, what an amateur.
A D for effort?
D for effort.
You could have done.
All right. Come back in about 10 minutes.
Oh no!
That was mine.
We're down to 5 Spam slices.
And then there were 5.
Spam down.
Shoot, it should still taste good. If that doesn't make you hungry, I don't know what does. All right, round 2 on the Spam here, right out of the can.
That's a rough one.
Give it a good dab of mustard. Perfect.
That good?
So we could have potentially have more. If I was on the Belize trip, I'm kind of here.
This one actually might be okay. That's gnarly. Outside.
That'll do it. The critters are making a lot of noise now.
Yeah.
They do that when bears.
Probably could have hung them all after one. There you go. There's nothing better than a hot cup of coffee out in the woods on our last morning in the Smokies. This kind of setting with the woods alive with the sound of nature and a little hot coffee. I have coffee every single morning, but for some reason it never tastes like this. That is just, it's one of the treats that keeps me coming out here. We are hiking on day number 3. About an hour out to the car, all downhill. How sweet is that? Mucky start to the hike. And like I said, all downhill to the car. Let's accept this first nasty little hill right out of camp. Then it should be all downhill. Now we made it back to the real trail, the little river trail. Now it's downhill to the car. Branch Falls is sure flowing. Holy smokes. Old chimney there, always a sign you're getting ready to get back into the Elkmont area. Almost back to the trailhead. Well, we made it back to the trailhead and the cars. That is a sight that, however many times you do it, never ever gets old. So there you have it. The third trip of the 2025 season. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is in the books. This is probably my 5th hike that I've done in this general Elkmont area. Every one of them has been completely unique, and they never get old. It is such a gorgeous area of the park. You don't get the majestic views that you get up on the Appalachian Trail, but I tell you, walking along Goshen Prong, a little river, and all the wildflowers, the greenery, it's almost like a tropical rainforest. Just absolutely beautiful area of the park. I was able to get 2 nights in camp with Travis and Carl. First one was a little bit of a light show and a little bit moist. It gave us an appreciation of all those people who hike the Appalachian Trail and get 4 or 5 days straight of rain. That is a true mental test to be able to continue in those type of conditions. We were able to dry everything out on that second night, and beautiful campsite number 21, which would definitely be a 5-star campsite if it was just a little bit flatter. We were able to have 3 bears in camp last night, which you will not see on the video probably because I didn't get any video of it. They were a little too far away. And the other thing you won't see on the video is thanks to our neighbors, Camp 21, they came over and got us really late at night just before we were getting ready to go to bed to show us the famous synchronized fireflies that you get in the Smoky Mountains. They were all over their camp and took a while for your eyes to adjust, but man, once they did, that was one of the most incredible sights I have ever seen. Great Smoky Mountains National Park, probably one of the best backpacking destinations, certainly in the United States, if not the world, and it certainly gave us another great hike.